Hey, it's Nathan Selove from Oakcroft Films with another edition of Autism Actually Speaking. Today we're going to talk about a very controversial issue that I will try very hard to be civil about. Anti-Vaxxers. Oh dear. Now this is an issue that's been on my radar for a long time, but the recent presidential election has kind of forced me to talk about it. Now let me start out by just getting one thing out of the way. Vaccines don't cause autism. That is just factually incorrect. The idea came from a retracted research study that was so shady and had such flawed evidence that my science class actually held it up as the prime example of ethics violations in scientific research. Now, getting that out of the way, let's talk about why this view is harmful. First off, there's the public health issue. Vaccines almost completely eliminated polio, smallpox, and measles. But due to the recent refusal of some parents to vaccinate their children, we're starting to see cases of measles pop up again. Refusing to vaccinate your children against diseases, many of which are deadly, is leaving them vulnerable and putting other kids at risk. This view also vilifies autistic people. When you refuse to vaccinate your child from a deadly disease because you think there might be a risk of them becoming autistic, you're saying that the risk of autism is scarier than the risk of them dying from a deadly disease. And you're telling autistics like myself that you would rather your child be dead than be like me. And you can't imagine how hurtful that is, and how destructive that is to your child. The reason why I'm bringing this up now is because we just elected a man who's referred to autism as an epidemic and who thinks that vaccines cause autism. Now, I don't want this to sound like an anti-Trump video because that is not the purpose of this. I sincerely hope that President-elect Trump actually talks to people on the spectrum, learns about our experiences, and actually tries to help us, and realizes the error of the things that he says. But until then, we need to call him out. If you're a parent who just wants what's best for your kid but is skeptical, then I understand that you're concerned. But you are putting your child at risk, and you are vilifying my identity. I understand that you have people who seem like experts that are telling you these things. But in the end, you are doing more harm than good, to myself and to your child. If you're someone who pushes this idea for special interest groups, stop using my community as a boogeyman fear-mongering tactic to justify your bullshit. If you're someone with autism or an ally, call this out when you see it. If you see people talking or posting about how they're scared of vaccinations, talk to them. Engage with them. Explain to them why this view is harmful. Send them this video. Explain that they are denigrating a proud community that has given so much to the world and has so much more to give. The anti-vaccination movement is now more mainstream than ever before, but our pushback must be stronger. We can no longer afford to be silent on this issue. We must stand up and say that our identities will not be used as an excuse. Autistics have contributed to some of the greatest scientific advancements of all time. Vaccines did not create autistics, but autistics probably created vaccines. If you have any questions or topics you'd like addressed, please leave them in the comments below, or message me on my Facebook, also linked below. And remember, if you have over 1,500 hours logged on Skyrim, you might be autistic.